But one thing I do know that at the moment is AI is only as good as you train it. And the difference between someone who's getting a lot out of AI and someone who's not is the same as why someone's able to get a lot from their team and someone isn't. Because they have processes and systems and IP that they're using to train their staff. They've got IP, they got systems, and they got processes to train the AI. Hey there, expert. If you're a consultant looking to grow your practice to 500K and beyond, then this masterclass is a preview into some of the strategies and tactics we teach our experts around sales, marketing, and how to create high converting offers and delivery system so they can enjoy more profit without sacrificing their lifestyle. Now, if you like this session, please give us a like, a subscribe, or even comment. Every bit of engagement helps get this message out to more people. Anyway, enjoy the masterclass, and we hope to see you in person, on a call, or at one of our events soon. Everyone, today we've got a really important session, probably one of the most important, if not the most important sessions of your whole life. That's a huge claim, and I'll try to back it up. But the reason for that is because we're in this amazing age at the moment called 2025. And in this age of 2025, we've got a little thing called AI. And if you're like me, everything that you do, you go online and you see that there's someone out there that's making a gazillion dollars with AI, doing something in a weird way, and everyone's getting FOMO because they're thinking, if I don't learn to use it, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my business. I'm going to be left behind. And so there's this AI gold rush at the moment, and really what it's doing is it's creating a lot of FOMO. And so people are investing a lot of money into stuff that's really not working very well. There was a study that came out that said 90% of all AI startups I think it was since 2022, have gone out of business. And there's a reason for that. Because where there's something new, there's always an opportunity. And if you think about that, let's look at it. You know, Bitcoin was one of those things at the start. There was this massive spike and then it's kind of evened out. When social media came out, it was this huge spike and then it kind of evened out. When websites, we had the e-com bubble, you know, everything's online, boom, it spiked and then it came back down. And then you look at AI, and AI is following the same kind of trajectory. It's gone up and you've got these people who are pumping it. And the reason they're pumping it is because they're selling it, right? So of course they're going to pump it. And then you people are realizing that, well, actually, you know, it's probably not quite where I thought it would be, because it's not about AI, it's about application of AI. And so turning your experience and your expertise into something commercial, the principles still apply. And so in today's masterclass, I want to start off by giving you a little bit of a rundown, and we're going to give you a bunch of examples, prompts. I got Rhys here from Link BA, who's going to be talking to you about how he's creating content for the crew there. Vaughan's going to share with you how we're creating content for ourselves. I'm going to share some prompts with you that have been are the ones I keep coming back to over and over again, that I think you could just copy, paste, and play immediately, because you don't need more tools with AI, you need more strategies to implement the AI. And so when I think of AI, it's an accelerant and it's an efficiency creator. So we're going to do that today. So a couple of frameworks first. When I think about business, as you all know, I draw these damn triangles all the time, and in the middle is your goal, right? Your goal. And whether that's making $1 million or $100,000 or replacing your income or generating some sales, all of those things come down to three systems. And I look at it like model, which is delivery. Okay, so how you deliver to clients. The next is marketing or message, which is how you attract people into your world. And then there is how we monetize, which is how we convert. Now, AI at the moment, what a lot of people are doing is they're trying to replace, with one AI tool, they're trying to replace a full department. Oh, I'm just going to get an AI and that AI is going to attract all of my leads. I'm not going to have to do anything. I'm going to sit back. I'm just going to press a button AI is going to prompt, and there's this thing called AI agents, which is a fancy way for just saying a project or a GPT, which we'll walk through today. And that's going to do all of the work. And then we've got voice, things like that. Oh, they're going to call all my leads for me, and they're going to do all the work for me. And I'm not saying that one day that may not be the case. But one thing I do know that at the moment is AI is only as good as you train it. And the difference between someone who's getting a lot out of AI and someone who's not is the same as why someone's able to get a lot from their team and someone isn't. Because they have processes and systems and IP that they're using to train their staff. They've got IP, they got systems, and they got processes to train the AI. And ultimately, when we've got the right systems, processes, and strategies, we can then apply that and give it to a system, a process, like a software, or we can give it to a person. And ultimately, I want to go through and show you today how we're increasing our delivery with AI, how we're using it to attract more opportunities, and how I'm using it to assist with sales. Whereas in the past, I may have had to do a lot more hours. I don't have to do as many hours now because it's doing a lot of the grunt work for me. So before we dive in and go deeper into that, can I just ask, who here is using AI? Just put in some way, shape, or form right now. Just put yes in the chat or no. If you're using AI in some way, shape, or form, like it's something that you would look at, do, touch, experience, explore every single day. Well, everyone's got a yes. Now, let me ask, what are you using it for mostly? What's the one thing that if you were to put a big circle around the one thing you use it for, what is the one thing that you use it for the most right now? The thing that it kind of helps you with the most. What would it be for you? What would it be for you? Research and content development, says Lisa. Nice. Craft more concise documents, Leander. Cool. Clean up content, grammar, punctuation, Timothy. Nice. Yep. Who else? Use it for scripts for another perspective. Yep. Getting started with blogs and vlogs. Susan, great. Yep. Project management. No, awesome. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over a few things now. Summarize of documents, write content, specific tasks. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I'm not going to make this about me talking for a long time. I want to start to share with you some examples around how we're using AI. And I don't know, even Rhys, if you want to also share your time management calendar thingy just for funsies, that could be cool as well. What I want to do is there's a couple of tools out there that we use for us specifically. Rhys uses one, something similar that Vaughan uses. I'm just going to get the guys to jump in, share, and then I'm going to share some prompts. And then what I'd love to do, if any of you are using something specifically, it might be a prompt that you're using, it might be a tool that you're using, or it might be a sort of some kind of weird like connection of AIs that are creating something cool. I'd love you guys to put your hand up and share as well, right? So we can all share what's going on and how we're using it. If that's cool. If it's something really helpful for you, we're sharing. Is that cool? If that's cool, just put cool in the chat and I know it's cool and we're cool, everyone's cool, and then we can start, I'm going to just share some stuff. Cool, very cool. All right. Well, let's kick off with Rhys, mate, do you want to jump on, and then Vaughan, you can jump on next, and everyone else can think about how they're using AI. Maybe it's a prompt that you're using that's helpful, a workflow that's helpful, or a tool that is helpful that you're using. Hey, buddy. Can't hear you, but you look good. You need a mic. Nah, can't hear. Can't hear. Do you wanna?
He's good with marketing, but when you give him a technical thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes. Okay, I'm using the phone on my microphone. Something's going on with my. Who cares? That's not the point. Hi everyone. If this stops working, just let me know and I'll reboot it or whatever. So we've been our old workflow for videos used to be nightmarish. So we had to record a video and then we'd send it to an editing team, and then we'd have to get captions added, and then we'd have to get it posted, and there was a whole bunch of stuff in the middle there as well. The main problem being the editing was complicated. So we now use a system called Riverside, which you may or may not have heard of. Riverside, I will show it to you because it's better than me just describing it, is designed for anyone to be able to quickly use. So the use case here is a podcast, is Amy pre-podcast. This is the raw footage that's been uploaded. But if you think about it in terms of just standing in front of a screen and just talking for half an hour about what you believe in, you get the same sort of result. So what we have here, we've uploaded, this is the first screen you come to in Riverside. Here's my studio. This is the recording here, raw footage. And all I'm doing is I'll scroll down and click on magic clips. I want magic clips under 30-second duration. They can focus on however they want. If we had topics, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good. Okay, I fixed it. Yay for me. That was lucky. Okay, I click on generate clips. Now it's going to create as many short social media style clips as it possibly can. We set it up so it focuses on Amy, but I'm over there. But I'll give you an example of what that's like. It takes a few minutes, and then it searches through, it does all the things. But here's an example of some magic clips. So I've done nothing to these. So these are from another podcast, but I've done nothing to them at all.
Is that communication is your responsibility. And if people are not understanding you or they're not understanding where you're coming from, it's because of something you have said, not something that they have misunderstood. So you need to communicate with people on their level in the same way that if they say to you, I need this kind of support and you don't deliver it, this is on you.
Yeah.
You kind of need to ask people what kind of support they need to be able to deliver it. Don't just assume that everyone's the same or assume that you know the best. Just ask people.
So 30-second clips, 10 of them straight away, captioned and optimized. Incidentally, this is not what Amy said. Amy said ums and ahs all the way through it. It just automatically removed it. So the workflow from nothing to social media posts is about 20 odd seconds. No effort whatsoever. Now, editing itself, again, remember, it used to be super cumbersome. So, but what it is now, you go in here, this is just the raw footage again. To edit, all we do is
It needs an AI microphone. That's all we need now. There's a tool for that. It's probably
I'm back.
It's
a good...
All right, we can't hear you, Rhys, again, mate. I don't know what's going on with your mic. Maybe. No, can't hear you, dude. Do you actually have a mic or earbuds or anything that you can just go straight in?
It's times like these, Rana, that Ali would be here telling us this is why we have wired technology, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone you get the idea, right? Like straight up. And when Rhys gets his audio back, he can take us through how to edit this, because that'd be really cool. And then Vaughan, I'm going to jump to you and you can show us how we're doing it for us as well. So that could be helpful. Rhys, how far away are you getting audio? 1, 2. Okay. Dude, we're going to have to zoom to Vaughan if we can't, because this is just time.
All right. Let let me jump in. I'll unshare you while you get yourself squared away, Mr. Knight.
We'll come back to him, Rhys. Let's go.
Is he back?
No, I said we'll come back to him.
Yeah, we can do that. So the major AI or platform that we use to automate things, Expert Leads, is what we're using for our outreach and stuff. But when it comes to content, it's been another bottleneck, as it always is, creating content. So what I got one of our team to do, and this is a team member who is not technically or media or creative wide. Like she's a systems person, she is not creative. So it was a really great test of being able to put that out. And a software, actually I think it was Ty that recommended KapWing to us. I will drop that down into the chat for everybody to check out. But what we've done here, this is an upload of one of our Solve It sessions. So every single week I'm running 2 Solve It sessions. There's 60 minutes, two lots of 60 minutes of me answering questions and coming up with stuff. So similar idea to what Riverside was doing. Drop the content in, it comes up with a series of suggested clips. Now, what I want to show you in this one here, if I go into this can't replace human connection, so it finds the clips, it does all of the removals as well that Rhys was demonstrating there. And then you can go in, you can start to play around with it. You can set up your defaults. So I want it to be used for, this is particularly for Instagram. So I've got the sizing set up. It focuses in on me as the speaker. But we've got, now I don't know if you can hear that or not, and that's okay if you can't. But on the left, you can see here's the transcript of what I'm saying. Now, if I want to take a part out, it is just a simple matter of highlight, delete, 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 and it automatically just removes all of those clips. So super easy to edit for the most basic of use cases. So you can just do that and it will quickly pump those out. But if you watch, even if you watch the screen now, those subtitles are default subtitles. It's a setup. So if I go back to our master here, I can choose from a series of different subtitles. I can even add in, I can tell the system to add in emojis instead of words. So now if I go back into it, my subtitles are going to have emojis in there. It pumps out super short clips, really easy to edit and to add. And at the end of it, you just hit save and it can go straight into your content. So whether you're formatting that for Instagram Reels or Facebook or Stories, whether you want to do it as a post, whether you want to use it as a post on LinkedIn, you could use the 1-to-1 or the 4-to-5 ratio, or if you're doing more of a YouTube style clip, you got your full cinematic ratio there. But it took less than, let me just grab the numbers. It took less than 15 minutes for it to go through a 1-hour clip. It spat out its top 10 clips for me. I can jump in, I tweak and edit the bits that I do or don't want. It adds the subtitles, it adds emojis if that's how you fly. You can easily just go import a picture if you want to add a visual graphic to it, and it will pump those out in a matter of seconds. And yeah, within, let's say it's 15 to 30 minutes, you have got 5 to 10 perfectly usable content pieces. So you put your sprint into it, you find your 3 key points, or it finds 3, it will automatically find all those 3 key points for you. Your sprint becomes a big long form release. It becomes little micro pieces. You can spit it out just as audio as well. So if you want to do it as a on a podcast platform, all of those available, and the full transcript is there with all the ums and ahs removed. So now I've got all the content I need to create posts. I can put that into Claude or whatever AI I'm using for my content creation, and it's all ready to go. So, and that's, yeah, I think it cost us, I subscribed for a year and it was like 150 US or something like that. So what's that? $9 million Australian. But pretty affordable for the saving of time, in 30 minutes, I've got enough content for a month. So that's that one there. Runs.
Nice. Do you want to jump back to Rhys quickly? Rhys, you good to share the last part of Riverside?
Yeah, is it working?
Yep, I can hear you.
I fixed it. I'm so proud of myself. All right. So, briefly, very not dissimilar to what Vaughan was talking about. Our editing flow is just that much easier. So, for example, when we want to remove words, we just remove them and everything gets fixed.
You know, I'm going to be nice for a change as we start this podcast.
So I just want to get rid of, say, as we start this podcast, a bit mumbly, don't need that. And I just delete it and then I go back.
You know, I'm going to be nice for a change. It is a little bit. So I think
Forgot the as.
Struggle with delegation.
I'll just get rid of that just to tidy it up. This used to take that many times, like going into Premiere Pro and the editing it would take.
Be nice for a change. So I think the reason
everything's just seamless. It's better editing than it was before, and it's just easier to use. You got separate video tracks as well. So this is the camera we have focused on Amy. We have a separate one for both of us. Here's the audio track. We can overlay audio tracks and overlay music. It is that simple. And
it's really good for
Riverside.
Podcasts too, right? Like that's what we're using it for. There's your podcasts between you and Amy.
We're using it, and in my podcast, The Virtual CEO, on Spotify now. Nice plug, Rhys. Well done, nailed it. It means that we have podcasts up on the same day. So usually it would take at least a couple of days to take your podcast, put your actually I'll show you one more thing just because it is pretty cool. All of our assets are uploaded in here. So our brand assets are here. So we have our logo can automatically be applied wherever we want it. And it will just appear on the top right-hand side once it's all finished off. We have an intro and an outro. We can change our text styles and everything like that. Everything's just there. So literally from recording, which we're doing today, to putting it up, maybe half an hour or an hour if I muck around with it.
Yeah. Nice, mate. Cool. Thanks, dude. Everyone, is that all? Is that how? Like, if you've heard of that before, or you use those? Who uses any of those currently? Just let us know in the chat, or if that's new to you, have a look at it. I want to, as we're just getting it out, haven't but will. I use Camtasia. Nice, Lisa. I haven't used Camtasia for a while, but could do the same thing now. There's a lot of tools that are integrating AI in different ways. The one thing I want to say to you guys is that there's two parts to building a business, right? There's the business itself, and then there is the business owner. And the thing that I see that separates a person who is building a consistent business and brand is that their face and name becomes just as known as the business. So if you want to grow your business, grow yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, so many of you have such great knowledge. Some of you have written books. Some of you have great workflows. Some of you have really, really good ideas. And the only person who knows about it are maybe a handful of clients and just the musings that you sort of think in your spare time. And I guess what I'm wanting to say is, like, with tools like that, the barrier to entry now is really low. And so being able to get in front of a camera, just like I'm doing now, and just have a topic and talk to it. We did a whole content of masterclass workshop last month. Jump into that, have a look at the tools, have a look at the examples, have a look at the scripts, and just dedicate an hour a week to just creating content that you can use. Because it's not just about pumping out a lot of clips, right? That's all good. But I would rather you have a handful of really great clips than a whole lot of clips that are just there because you're ticking boxes. You know what I mean? So insights become just as important as the information. So the other thing that I want to share, and then, like, those of you who have, again, as I said, if you have a prompt, if you have a tool, or you have a workflow that is working for you, I'd love you to start thinking about it, because I'd like you to share it if you'd like to. So a couple of things that I want to just give to you guys. I use Claude a lot. I find currently Claude is, for me personally, it's the better tool, right? ChatGPT has improved. Claude overnight has just released its new versions today, 3.7. So that's the best version of itself. I haven't used it because it's just come out this morning. So I want to give you a couple of prompts that I use a lot and examples, and then I'm going to get your thoughts, and you can try these out. Now, if you'd like these docs, what I'm going to do is I'll share it with you so you guys can have a play as well. Let me do this, and yep, cool, copy, and I'll post it here in the chat, and you can all have a look at that. So these are some prompts that I use every day. So when I find myself okay, let me set the scene. As a business owner, being able to create is a really important part of staying relevant and being able to get ahead. But sometimes you don't feel like it. Sometimes you're feeling tired. Maybe you've been affected by something that's happened in your business or in your personal life. But it doesn't mean you should stop, right? Or it's hard to stop. So how do you keep going? And I find sometimes like having AI is a really good sounding board for me to keep going and just get into the groove. So I use a couple of prompts. So a few things. When I create a workshop and I'm creating like landing pages and pages for registrations, I basically use this prompt. So I'll take this prompt and I've given it some examples and I post it into Claude. And I do this, and it just basically will say to me, hey, no worries. Like, understand this is what you want. Now it will ask me for what I'm doing. So your example clearly shows you're looking for a structured, benefit-driven approach. Yes, I'm ready to help you with your your workshop registration page. Please share the outline of your upcoming workshop and any relevant details so I can create it. And what I do is I will go through, and often I've written this prior to, or I'll just start writing in a Google Doc and copy it over. I'll write all the details of the workshop. This is who it's for. This is the aim. These are the frameworks I'm going to use. This is why it's important. These are the outcomes for each thing. I'll just write. It's not about making it perfectly formatted. I just write. And it might be a page or 2 pages worth of just dump. And then I pop it in, and then what it will do is it will then turn it into I would say it's 70% good. I just need to do a little bit of tweaking. So, for example, if I've written a post, right? So say, for example, let me give you an actual example. So I'll jump back into I'll show you how this works. So the other day I wrote a post for the workshop I'm doing on Thursday, and you guys should definitely come to that. It's the Profitable Consulting Advantage. So it's on Thursday. It's going to be 2 hours, maybe a bit longer. So come along, it'd be great. It's for you guys anyway, but I'm just trying to find out where here it is. Where is it? Sorry guys, here we go. And this was the post. So I took a post that I was using. Yeah, that's the link. Thanks, Vaughan, for the link. I want to give you the post because I think it could be really cool. Bear with me for a sec. So this is like, our team's very organized. I just give them what I need to. So I wrote this. This was the email I wrote. This is the magic number. Here are the details. I wrote the post, a bit of a brain dump. And then what I did is I popped the post into this, and it basically just it shoots out. Now it's too long, right? I'm not saying this is perfect, but it's too long, right? This is too long what it does. And as Vaughan said, like I essentially tweaked it, just used my own brain for a bit. But what did it do? It just took something that was a post and turned it into a landing page, which is pretty good. It's not bad, right? That would have taken me maybe an hour. So that's a good thing about that. That's the first thing. And I think this is a really good framework to use if you want to create workshop registration pages for your sprints, for events, things that you're doing, for sales. So on a sales call, when you're working with people, you're probably going to get to the end of the call and you're going to be like, there's a lot of information I took from that person. So what I do is I take this prompt and I basically go into Claude, and you can turn this into a project, by the way, but for now, like, that's another story for another day. Can you condense this conversation, down into a recap? And then this is a really good hack that I've used. Let me know, and then I'll say, let me know when you're ready. Right, so it has yep, it'll do it. Can you please share the conversation? So on your, where is, I'm trying to find it here on this thing. There is, on most of your keyboards, there is a voice prompt, right? There is something where you can press it and it will enable you to speak into the computer. And you can start speaking to it. So if I took notes from somebody, like a whole bunch of notes, in the past, for example, Ali would give me a whole heap of notes from her conversation with people, like a heap of notes, maybe 2 pages worth of notes. And I would just put that into this and then it would automatically restructure it out. And for whatever reason, as funny as this is, I don't think this computer has a mic available, which is weird. But you can record it onto, like if I did this, I'll give you another example. So you can use Claude on, this is version 2. There's always a solution. There's never a problem. So if I took this, opened up my little Claude app, went back to chats and summarizing key priorities and solutions. Let me show you. Hey, if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, please like, subscribe, and comment. Getting this out to more people is why we do it, and hearing from you makes it all worthwhile. So please let us know. And by the way, if you'd like more information about the Expert Project, head on over to expertproject.com/launch, where you can tell us a bit more about your business, what you might be needing, how we might be able to help, and book a call with one of our team so we can help you grow your consulting business today. Cool, let's go back to this chat. And I add, there's a little thing here. Can everyone see that? Little voice note. And I do that. And I start talking into it. So I had a sales call with a gentleman named Bob today. Bob has a construction company where he is looking to turn his business into $1 million enterprise. He's currently a freelancer working with 7 clients. He's stuck at about, $15,000 a month, struggling with lead flow, getting 2 leads per week, needs to turn it into at least 2 sales a month. Currently, he doesn't have systems, doesn't have structure, and is just looking for some help and assistance, keen to grow his reach on LinkedIn, wanting to understand how we can build a better offer and wanting to put that offer into the marketplace so he has more consistent lead flow and better opportunities to grow his business. So I upload that and right, it's doing it now. It's just going to update here. But basically what it's done by using my workflow, you can see it says construction company currently operating as a freelancer with 7 clients, priority increased lead flow. So now if I'm doing a launch call, what do I do after? I can then have my launch call with him and I can just read this back to him as a recap. Hey, last time we had a chat, Jim, we spoke about the priorities. We spoke about this is what you want, this is what you're after, etc., etc. And what you realize is, and I'll see if this is updated. No, it hasn't updated here yet, so I can't show you. But it basically just by talking to it, adding a voice note even, you're able to communicate your ideas and your thoughts much faster than you can type. As Beth said, yeah, you can type it. And I find that even when I'm thinking about content. So another thing here would be if I go to Chrome and I look at the other idea of what I can do. This is the content creation framework that I've done, and we know we've had to play with this before. And so you can turn content, if you're like, I need to create content, I want to write a good blog, I want to write a good article, I want to do something. You can take this script, right, in the same way, and you can, I can start a new chat, add the prompt in, press go, and what it does is it starts to then let me know what you'd like to talk about. Now, because I don't have my trusty phone on that again, I'm going to start a new chat, go back to my chats, and let's see whether it'll boost. So start a new chat. I'm going to add that in, and then it'll take a little while to sync up, I think. So let's try again. But ultimately, even writing content, most of you can talk about a topic. If I said, okay, let's talk about a specific topic, here it is. That's the prompt that I just put in. So, and again, if I just took an example, like I said, okay, let's think of something that happened to me this morning. Okay, so random thing. Okay, so I would say, so I help business consultants turn their experience and expertise into a profitable business and generate $500K to $1 million in revenue and beyond as a lean consultant. The thing that happened to me this morning, I was walking with a friend and we were talking about the idea of details and distractions. And we were talking about a friend who, every time we speak to the friend, they always have something new. They always have something different. But what's interesting is that we observe that they as a person haven't really grown. They're always interested in what's new. They're always interested in what's exciting. They're always interested in new concepts, and it's what's shiny. But what you realize is until they integrate that, they don't actually make much of a change. And so you see this person who's always excited about something else, but they never actually create the thing they want. It's like chasing a rainbow, right? Like the faster they want to run towards it, the more excited they are about the colors, and the more they want to make that rainbow real, the faster it runs away from them. And so it was just an interesting observation today, and how that could relate to business. It's 60 seconds. So I've done that, and it's going to do its thing, right? And and you guys have seen this before, but I think what's fascinating about this is most of us struggle to put content out at all. And so even just that, if I read this out and I said, and I'll see if I can load this up because it should be able to. No. Yeah, here it is. Had a fascinating conversation during my morning walk today that hit me hard. My friend and I were discussing someone we both know, a true rainbow chaser. The type always excited about the next big idea, always consuming new content, always jumping from strategy to strategy, tool to tool, concept to concept. Their eyes light up with each new discovery, but something crucial is missing: actual progress. Year after year, they remain essentially in the same place. All that excitement, all that consumption of information, and yet no substantial growth. They're constantly distracted by the details of what's new, rather than doing the deep work of implementation. Struck me how perfectly this applies to the consulting world. I've seen brilliant consultants with decades of experience who stay stuck at the same revenue ceiling because they're consistently chasing rainbows. They invest in course after course, attend webinar after webinar, and meticulously plan their next big launch or offering, only to abandon it when something shinier comes along. The hard truth: mastery and real business growth don't come from constantly starting over. They come from commitment to implementation, from sticking with something long enough to see it bear fruit, from the sometimes unglamorous work of refining your core offer until it's exceptional. The most successful consultants I've helped scale to 500K and beyond share one common trait: they choose their path and walked it consistently. They weren't immune to shiny object syndrome. They just developed the discipline to recognize it and refocus. If you ever find yourself constantly excited about the new business ideas but never quite reaching your revenue goals, ask yourself, are you chasing rainbows? Sometimes the most powerful growth comes not from adding something new, but from going deeper with what's already working. The rainbow may look beautiful in the distance, but it's the steady path beneath your feet that will actually take you to where you want to go. Dude, I'm literally going to post that like today. And then what do? At the end, I'll go, P.S. If you're interested in how I can help you grow your consulting business, here are 3 ways I can help. 1, download this thing. 2, come to my webinar. 3, reply interested, and we'll send you the details to work with me privately. Every email or article can turn into an offer. And that took me 1 minute and 16 seconds with a really good prompt. So I just want to help you understand, like I don't have a bot at the moment that's just, apart from expert leads that you guys know, which takes away some of the process-driven audience building and outreach. Apart from that, I don't have a tool that's selling for me. I don't have a bot that's running my business while I'm on a banana chair sipping cocktails. But what I do have is faster, easier ways to do what I was doing before. So that post may have taken me maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours to write, and I would have done it maybe a couple of times a week because I'm busy. Now I can write a piece of content almost every day. So the barrier to entry is really low now, but quality is going to be what we have to go for, not quantity. Because while people go for, I can just produce 10,000 clips in a minute, it's the people who can produce clips of quality that get the engagement. And then that's what people are interested in as well. Beth has made a couple of really good points. Beth, love that. Love this. Also trains the AI with your unique humanness so that it sounds more like you. I've noticed the more I use Claude like that, the more I use it and give it my information. I don't know whether it's because it's logged in as me, but the more it is just dialing in my voice. Like that there, I wonder if you had done the same thing, whether it would have come up with that, because I'm able to do things faster the more I use it. So there is a level of nuance that's going on by just sticking to Claude for me. And the last thing I'll share with you all is that it's really important that when you find you're doing something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, as I said, if you have a process and a system, which you all really do because that's what you're building inside of your money model that we work with you on, you start to realize that you can create projects. And projects are where you can get a theme. For example, if I'm writing content a lot, what I've done with my project is I've added in 150 posts that I've written. Like this was before AI, but I've taken all of the content I've ever written and I posted it into Claude. Like this was a while ago now, 2 months ago. But it basically understood how I write, my nuances, my language, my thinking, how I've done it. Then I asked it to do a brand style guide so it could understand, like, can you do a brand style guide up based on what you saw? And then it will do that, like authentic and vulnerable, direct and action-oriented, conversational leadership. And it's just pulled apart my brand. So I put those two together and I give it a little bit of I want your help to turn my free writing ideas into highly engaging posts. And all I do is I get this and I talk about something, or I might just sit there because I think of writing like therapy. I love to just sit there and I'll write, and 80% might be gobbledygook, but 20% is good. And it will take the 20% and it just creates a piece of content. And that content becomes my emails, my posts. Don't get me wrong, I do a little bit of work. I'm not just sitting back there going, oh, that's perfect. Although that last post was pretty freaking good. So I've given you the prompts I use the most. I've given you an example like between what Rhys is using and what Vaughan's using, there's enough there for you to increase your brand reach and reputation. So you're not just doing outreach and emails, you're actually building a brand at the same time. Okay, so that's really, really important that we're all doing that. So guys, is that helpful? Just in the chat, has that been helpful or useful? Because it's, hopefully you've got something from that today. Notebook LM is also another one. Yeah, we could go into that. And if you want to have a play with Notebook LM, I'm seeing a lot of people using it straight up, because what it is I think it's Google's tool. And as I've done before, you know, I took a video that I shot on YouTube and I added it in. It turned it into this, and then basically created a conversation. And it's really amazing. If you've done any content, try uploading it into Notebook LM and listen to what it does. Like this here, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, Vaughan. I don't know how it works, but maybe you can.
All right.
Can you hear that?
YouTube video you sent over. The best way to make 5 figures in 30 days by Ron Asani. I think. Yeah,
I don't even know. I can download it, but yeah, you can basically. It's done a podcast for me. So it's really, really, really interesting, right? Yeah, and Perplexity is another great tool. Every LLM has like large, language model. Like people call it all different things, but large language model. That's like Perplexity, and they often have very different things. Like Claude, for example, is kind of, in my mind, really good for creativity and, you know, writing, things like that. I find Perplexity is really good for like knowledge, research, data. And I found that ChatGPT is a kind of good mix of all of them. It's like the generalist. So, you know, you've kind of got, you know, Grok is now very much science and coding. That's what it was designed for, like physics, but it's now starting to take on images as well. So yeah, guys, like what I'd love to do is I think about looking at AI rather than getting overwhelmed with it. Start to think, make a list, go back to the basics, make a list of everything that you would do in your business that you have to do over and over again. What I call like repetitive tasks or repetitive processes. So a process is something that you would do more than one of to get an outcome, and a task is something that you would do. Like for example, a task might be, I have to review a resume, right? Bang, put a resume in, go. You could do that. A process is something that takes a couple of things to do, so a process might be, well, if I have to, for example, review a sales call, rather than go, well, I need to review a sales call, what could I do? And I start thinking, well, I've got the sales call. So watch this. I got the sales call. Then what I'm going to do is take my sales script, which I have. And then what I'm going to do is ask the AI, I'm going to transcribe the sales call and I'm going to put it against the script and I'm going to say, please analyze the sales call, and out of 10, how close it was to the script and where they went off track. And then I could literally like transcribe the video, take the transcript, pop it in, compare it, bang. Now I can start reviewing sales calls fast and give feedback to clients straight away, right? You could be like, here's where you went off track. They're the time and the timestamps. And they're like, okay. So think about how you can do things now that you would have taken you maybe an hour or more, and you can condense it down into, you know, minutes. And that becomes a time efficiency and a time saver for you. So you can focus on the things that actually make the biggest difference for your business. Really, really good, guys, to have you here today for the masterclass. Take something from it, use it, take the prompts, take the software, and the thing that makes a difference is just start using it, right? The only way to get better is just to start using it, and make your business easier. Guys, have a fantastic day. Lovely to see you all. Bye for now. See ya. If you've liked today's masterclass, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment so we can hear from you and get this out to more consultants just like you who are looking to grow their practices to 500K and beyond. Helping consultants find their true worth and commercialize it in the marketplace is why we exist. If you'd like to learn how you can grow your consulting business, head on over to expertproject.com. Learn a bit more about what we do, download some more of our free resources, or follow us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want a direct access link into one of our teams so we can learn a bit more about your business, what you're wanting to create, and how we might be able to help, head on over to expertproject.com/launch. Give us a bit of detail about you, your business, and we look forward to having a chat with you and helping you grow your consulting business. In the meantime, take care and bye for now.